There are some incredible statues, monuments, temples, and more to explore all around the world. Their existence is a wonder, and if you get a chance to travel to any of the following extraordinary sites, you're in for a treat. Today, I'll take you through a list of the top 10 man-made wonders around the world. Number 10. The Parthenon. The Parthenon is one of the most famous buildings in the world, and it sits on top of Acropolis, and if you're visiting Athens, your trip isn't complete without visiting this temple. It began being built in 447 BC and was made to replace the older temple that was destroyed by the Persians and completed in 432 BC. The Parthenon was built to be a safe home for a massive statue of Athena Parthenos that was made of ivory, silver, and gold. Sometime during the 5th century, the statue was stolen by the Roman emperors and taken to Constantinople, where it was later destroyed. During its long life, the Parthenon has also been used as a fortress, a church, a mosque, and as a powder magazine. Number 9. Easter Island. Easter Island is home to the world's most famous moai, which are monolithic statues built by the Rapa Nui people. Easter Island is one of the most isolated islands on Earth. The statues were carved by the Polynesian inhabitants of the island, most likely between the years 1250 and 1500. In addition to representing deceased ancestors, the moai were also regarded as the embodiment of powerful living or former chiefs. When Europeans first landed on the island, the statues were still standing, but most of the statues were cast down due to fighting that took place on the island. Presently, there are about 50 moai that have been re-erected on Easter Island or museums elsewhere. Number 8. The Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal is an immense mausoleum of white marble built between 1632 and 1653, and Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan ordered it to be built in memory of his favorite wife. This site is one of the most well-preserved and architecturally beautiful tombs in the world. It is also one of the masterpieces of Mughal architecture and one of the great sites of the world's heritage. The monument is actually an integrated complex of structures, and many around the world refer to it as a teardrop on the cheek of eternity. The site also features several other beautiful buildings, reflecting pools, and extensive ornamental gardens with flowering trees and bushes. Number 7. The Colosseum. The Colosseum is the largest and most famous amphitheater ever built in the Roman Empire. Emperor Vespasian of the Flavian dynasty started the construction of the site in 72 AD, and it was finished by his son Titus in 80 AD. The Colosseum would host opening ceremonies with spectacles that lasted 100 days. 5,000 animals and 2,000 gladiators were killed in the process. The Colosseum was built to hold nearly 50,000 spectators, and there are 80 possible entrances to go through. Spectators were protected from the rain and heat of the sun by what's called a velarium, which is a type of awning that went around the top of the attic. This site is one of the most popular tourist attractions in Rome, and it has become an iconic symbol of Imperial Rome. Number 6. Angkor. If you're visiting Cambodia, you should definitely check out the Angkor Wat Temple. This location features a vast temple complex highlighting the magnificent remains of several capitals of the Khmer Empire from the 9th to the 15th century AD. These include the famous Angkor Wat temples, the world's largest single religious monument, and the Bayum Temple with its multitude of massive stone faces. During its long history, Angkor went through many changes in religion, converting between Hinduism and Buddhism several times. Angkor has become a symbol of Cambodia, appearing on its national flag, and it is the country's prime attraction for visitors. Number 5. Teotihuacan. In the 2nd century BC, a new civilization arose in the Valley of Mexico. This civilization built the flourishing metropolis of Teotihuacan and its huge step pyramids, which is designed to feature platforms as steps. The Pyramid of the Sun is the largest building in the metropolis, and it was built around 100 AD and is 246 feet tall. The construction of the smaller Pyramid of the Moon began a century later and was finished in 450 AD. 7 centuries after the demise of the Teotihuacan Empire, the pyramids were honored and utilized by the Aztecs and became a place of pilgrimage. Number 4. Petra. Petra, the fabled rose-red city half as old as time, was the ancient capital of the Nabatean kingdom. It is also, without a doubt, Jordan's most valuable treasure and greatest tourist attraction. A vast, unique city carved into the side of the Wadi Musa Canyon centuries ago by the Nabateans, who turned it into an important junction for the silk and spice routes that linked China, India, and southern Arabia with Egypt, Greece, and Rome. The most elaborate building in Petra is Al-Khazna, the treasury, carved out of a sandstone rock face, its massive facade dwarfing everything around it. Number 3. Machu Picchu. Our next site is one of the most beautiful and impressive ancient sites in the world. Machu Picchu was rediscovered in 1911 by Hawaiian historian Huron after it lay hidden for centuries above the Urubamba Valley. The lost city of the Incas is invisible from below and completely self-contained, surrounded by agricultural terraces and watered by natural springs. Although known locally, it was largely unknown to the outside world before being rediscovered in 1911. Since then, Machu Picchu has become the most important tourist attraction in Peru. Number 2. The Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China was built, rebuilt, and maintained between the 5th century BC and the 16th century to protect the northern borders of the Chinese Empire from the attacks of the Xiongnu tribes. Several walls have been built that were referred to as the Great Wall. One of the most famous is the wall built between 220 and 206 BC by the first emperor of China, but little of that wall remains. The majority of the existing walls were built during the Ming Dynasty. The most comprehensive archaeological survey has recently concluded that the entire Great Wall, with all of its branches, stretches for 5,500.3 miles. Number 1. The Pyramids of Giza. The Giza necropolis, situated in the immediate vicinity of the southwestern suburbs of Cairo, is probably the most famous ancient site in the world. The pyramids in Giza were built over the span of 3 generations, by Khufu, his second reigning son Khafre, and Menkaure. The Great Pyramid of Khufu is the oldest and sole remnant of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Over 2 million blocks of stone were used to construct the pyramid during a 20-year period concluding around 2560 BC. The pyramid is an awe-inspiring 455 feet high, making it the largest pyramid in Egypt. Although nearby, Khafre's pyramid appears to be larger as it is built at a higher elevation. Thanks so much for watching this video. Go ahead and like this video, comment down below, and hit that subscribe button.